Hi, this is Chrissy, and I'm coming from Baltimore, Maryland. Do you remember being a child and having dreams, having goals, having writing your little in your little journals in preschool, nursery school, whatever, kindergarten, and them asking, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Right? I do, and I always wanted to be a cowgirl. Or I wanted to be a veterinarian that worked with horses. Or I wanted to be something with animals. Like, I wanted to be something. At one time, I wanted to be a princess and I wanted to be a mermaid. Like, I wanted to be all these silly things, but I wanted to be something. Being an addict was never in the plan. It was never what I wanted to be. It was never in my bucket list of things to do, right? Well, come to realize this little girl right here with the dreams of being a cowgirl and a veterinarian, she never knew who she was. I never knew who I was, but I know, looking back now, I was an addict before I even picked up drugs. I had such a need to be accepted and to be loved and to be a part of a sense of, I needed to feel like I belonged. I never felt like I was enough. I never felt like I was right for anybody. Like, I never felt like I had a place. And it wasn't because of my upbringing. I had such an amazing mom. My father, biological father, he kind of gave me that sense of I didn't belong. And that'll come later on in, throughout the videos, and I'll expose more about that part of my life. But my addiction became pleasing people. I would lie. And I would lie to make myself look good, to make my life seem better than it was. Instead of accepting the life that I had a great life. I had a wonderful mother. I never went without. I had a home, my own bedroom, my own toys, my own things. I had a great life. May have not had the brand name clothes or the top-notch shoes, but I had what mattered. And I was a happy, per se, person. I should have been. I didn't go without, right? And the more and more I went on in life, I still, even when I would be called out and caught lying, I didn't care. I didn't care about the consequences. All I cared about was I was making people happy. And by making those people happy, so I thought, I was getting acceptance. So only thing that happened when I got called out and when the lies came to exposure was I would lie more knowing that I was being exposed. But for that short time when people were believing me, I felt like I was making people happy and I felt like I was fitting in. That was an addiction to me. And this went on through my adult years. I never felt belonged in high school. I was bullied. It was as I was trying to find my place in high school, or early middle school and high school, I wasn't fitting in. Why was I not fitting in? That was my own fault because no one ever got to know me. I never let anyone know who I was because I didn't know who I was. So I was bullied. I was picked on. So to fit in with different groups, I would lie, I would manipulate, and I would make up this extremely exaggerative things. And I wonder why people didn't like me. So I was sabotaging myself, I think. I don't know. The true drug addiction didn't start until my early 20s. But I've been an addict since before drugs. And when people look at me, or as an addict, guys, if you're in recovery or if you're actively using now, I'm sure you've been asked, how could you do that? Like, how could you put that poison in your body? Or how could you put yourself in those situations? How could you, lie to your family or steal or do the things that you did? I'm going to tell you, it was never on our list. And that's what you can tell them. I didn't wake up saying I want to be an addict. I didn't wake up wanting to use drugs. I did not wake up wanting to put that poison in my body. Everyone has a story. We all started somewhere. We all had a first time. We all go back to something. Me, I went back to as a child. Before I even touched a drug, my addiction started with a need to belong. I found my place where I belonged when I found drugs. I felt like because I was numbing myself and I thought nobody knew, and I thought that was making me this person that I was like yearning to be, and I thought I was fooling everybody. I'll tell you what, I was living the biggest lie yet. And people were trying to call me out, and I didn't, I lied and lied some more. Like, I'm not getting high. You don't know what I'm talking about. I did not find Chrissy, which is me, until after my third relapse, after almost about 18 years of using, relapsing 3 times, and going through some serious counseling, intensive outpatients, rehabs, failing, getting back out there and doing it again, harder sometimes, and finally hitting my bottom. And we'll talk about that at another time too. Hitting that bottom and looking at myself and being like, are you freaking kidding me? I need to do something. I need help. I still didn't really know who I was. All I knew was I was this addict, and I started through therapy realizing, holy crap, I've been an addict forever. It just took talking, and it took me really looking at me in depth and talking to people and getting out there and putting myself out into the world and exposing myself for what I was, to realize that, you know what, I have so much to offer. I have a purpose. I think my purpose was to get out there, to do what I had to do, to learn the lessons that I've learned, and get out here and help others, and to teach others that, you know what, you do have a purpose. So when you decide that it's time for you to take that step into recovery, keep in mind, there's a purpose for you on this other side. You may not feel it now. You may not even think you have a place for anybody. You may think that everybody has pushed you aside. Everybody is done with you. Everybody has washed their hands of you, right? I promise you, with hard work, with dedication, with just all that you have, all that you did for the using and all the lying and all the cheating and all the stealing and all the running, if you put all that effort into recovery, your purpose will shine through. You will find out what your purpose was, and you're going to have such a fulfilled life. But it has to start at you. You have to make that first step. That first step is saying, you know what, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But just remember, when you make that first step, it's not going to come automatically. You're not going to just wake up and be recovered. Because it took you a long time to get to the point of devastation that you are at. It really did. You didn't just end up here. Something happened. You either picked up for the first time, you got hooked on the medications, or a lifestyle led you to this. So it's going to take that amount of dedication and that amount of hard work and that amount of like blood, sweat, tears, and discomfort and fear to get to that point of recovery. But we all have to make that step somewhere, and that step needs to be looking at yourself and saying, I'm done. It's over. No more. And then making the next step, which is to find which path you're going to take into recovery. And throughout our time together and on this journey, we're going to talk about the different paths there are to take, all the different things you can do, all the different support systems, all the different things you're going to experience and that you can actually get into to really make recovery such a joy. But you don't have to do it alone, and I'm telling you, you don't want to do it alone. Recovery is not meant to be a solo thing. You don't have to do this alone. Find a group. Find somebody or something to get into to help get you over that hump. Remember, there was a step that you took that started this chain. Now you got to take that next step to get out of it, to break that chain. I didn't want to be an addict. That was not my choice. I did not wake up and say that's what I want to be. When I was asked as a child, what do you want to be when you grow up? I wanted to be a cowgirl. Today, after living my life of lying and cheating and stealing and using and of active long-term addiction, I may not be a cowgirl, but I am out here helping people, and I am out here healing, and I am out here trying to make a difference to others in this world. So with that, guys, I hope you have a great night, and next Wednesday I will have another video up for you guys. So please, if you like this video, hit a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you know when I'm on again. Mwah! Everybody have a great night.